Our mission at Madonna School is special people meeting special needs for special people. Here on this campus we have a K-12 special education only school. We have a life skills transition program for 18 to 21-year-olds with developmental disabilities, and we also have an employment services program for adults 21 and over. Good morning and welcome to Madonna School. We always like to start the tour right here in the center of the building, the physical and spiritual center of the building. We have the administrative offices to my left, and to my right we have our chapel, which is where we gather with all of our K-12 students every Friday morning for Mass. We're a Catholic school, but about half of our students are Catholic and half are not. And it's a beautiful thing to pray with our students. It's wonderful to be able to bring in priests and pastors from throughout the community to help them connect with Madonna and with our students. And we love our chapel. It's a beautiful space. In particular, the stained glass window is one of our signature images with the Madonna, the Blessed Mother, reaching out to a child in a very gentle, instructive way. We think it's representative of what we're doing here at Madonna School, reaching out to children with developmental disabilities. In our entryway here we have a beautiful quilt. It's actually our 50th anniversary quilt with an angel theme to it. You can see each of these individual angels was created by Madonna students. Our speech pathologist is a quilter, and the kids love working with the fabric, so she uses that as a motivation. When they achieve their speech goals for the day, they get to help out with the fabric, and they make beautiful quilts like this one, everything from small placemats or even pot holders all the way up to a large quilt. Madonna was founded in 1960 by a Sister of Mercy, Sister Evangeline Randolph. And Sister Evangeline was actually one of the sisters teaching at the old St. James Orphanage when it existed at 60th and Military. And in 1960 they decided to take the students, the orphans, out of their own school and put them into the parish schools in the community so that they can be known and perhaps get adopted. Well, two of those students tested as having special needs, the orphans did. The parish schools couldn't handle them. OPS didn't have a special education program at the time, but Sister Evangeline had a master's degree in special education. She said, I could teach these kids, and she did. Word of mouth got around, and before she knew it, she had a couple of dozen students from throughout the city, and that's how Madonna School was born. So in this wing of the building, we have our two classrooms for our youngest students. This one is for students ages 5 to 8, the one next to it roughly 8 to 11. Each of the classrooms is a bit like a one-room schoolhouse where you have students of a narrow range, but up to 10 students with at least one teacher and one aide in every classroom. Across the hallway from our classrooms with the youngest students, we have two of our special classrooms. This is our art classroom across the hall from where we have our youngest students. I always love walking in here because it's so bright and inviting, and a space where our students get to develop the skills that really can help them connect with others and really communicate and express themselves. So art's an important part of our program. This very busy place in here is our sensory integration room. This is an especially important space for our students who have a diagnosis on the autism spectrum, because there are various things here that help them calm down. Autism is a disorder in which it's easy for a student to get overstimulated by normal human interaction. But there are things that the individual can do to help calm themselves. They can swing on the platform swing. They can use various devices here that sort of give them a hug. If you or I were to give the student with autism a hug, that would be overstimulating. But if the pressure is coming from an inanimate object, then that tends to work fine. Now we're entering what we call the therapy wing, and these are actually the two newest classrooms in the building. They opened in August of 2014. One room is specially designed for music therapy, in which we use music to achieve non-musical goals, such as to help the students learn to speak, perhaps to use sign language, even just to develop basic kinds of physical coordination, gross motor and small motor skills to help them get along in their daily lives. So next to the music therapy room, we have speech therapy. And as I mentioned, this is where the children work with the fabric and do various quilting projects, along with developing their communication and reading skills. So our speech pathologist was able to design this room where she can have her desk in one space, the learning, teaching space in another, a reading corner in the back of the room, and then also the space where the students can work with the fabric and produce quilts and other related items. In this corridor, we have 2 classrooms for middle school age students and 2 classrooms for high school age students. And again, each classroom will have up to 10 students with a teacher and an aide in each classroom. This is an important classroom for us. We call it the apartment classroom. We have a small kitchenette in one corner and laundry machines, and this is where students, even at our youngest ages, start learning some independent living skills. So classes will be in here. They might be making some grilled cheese sandwiches or perhaps some cupcakes. They'll come by my office and I'll get a treat in the afternoon. But it's all because we need them to be learning independent living skills even from the earliest ages, and we get some great feedback from our parents that the students are taking skills they learn here home with them and starting to make a difference, doing for themselves instead of always having the parents do for them. Every school has to have a library, and this is ours with a nice collection of books that are appropriate for our students. It's also a flexible learning space. So if one of our teachers is having reading groups, and one reading group can be in the classroom and another can come down here and make good use of the library. This mural is another beautiful piece framed by the hallway as you walk down, but it also tells a lot of the Madonna story. Up in the upper left-hand corner is a representation of the old St. James Orphanage where the school was founded in 1960. And the school was in that building for 10 years until the fire marshal condemned it. And Sister Evangeline had to find a new space, and that's represented over here by a building that originally had been a Lutheran church, but Sister was able to buy it with the help of benefactors in 1970. And that's where the school was for 34 years until we were able to open our present campus here at 72nd and Reddick. And a beautiful part of the mural here is the fact that these interesting characters and the unusual vehicles here were all created by our students and translated to the canvas. And every student got to help not only designing but also painting the mural. Everybody painted at the very least 2 of the rectangles that are around the perimeter. And so it's really a school project that reflects our history and what our students can do. This is our gym, which doubles as our lunchroom. It's a multi-purpose space. You can see the tables that we have out for the lunch. And our students actually help serve our students in helping develop their employability skills. So the older students in the program for those 18 and up actually help serve and prepare the lunch. And then they help clean it up at the end of the day. So they're learning some job skills at the same time that we're making sure everybody gets a nutritious lunch. This wing of our building hosts our programs for young people 18 and over. It opened in November of 2013. This used to be the outside of the building right here, but now we have the programs for our 18 to 21-year-olds, which we call our Life Skills Transition Program, and we have employment services for young adults 21 and over to help them establish employment in the competitive marketplace out in the community. Good morning, everybody. Looks like a busy place. This is the large classroom for our Life Skills Transition Program and our Employment Services Program. You can see many young people at work and working on skills that are going to be very practical for them and meaningful for them for the term of their life. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Donna.
Hi, Madison. This large, beautiful kitchen is another very important learning space. Folks in our young adult programs put together a lunch menu on Fridays, go and do the grocery shopping on Mondays, and prepare their lunches through the course of the week. And the kitchen is big enough that they can have 5 or 6 different working spaces here. And so our young people can learn what it takes to shop, to plan a meal, to actually do the cooking, and to develop a nutritious a menu and a healthy lifestyle for themselves. We have another mock bedroom here, and another full bath, which, as you can see, includes a checklist, which is everything you need to do to clean and maintain a bathroom. Again, very practical training here, so our folks can live a clean, healthy existence. This is a workroom where we achieve a number of important things for our young people. Maybe most important is this is where we make our own brand of coffee. We have the coffee grinder. We get beans through a relationship with LaRue Coffee Roastery. We produce our own brand of Madonna Special coffee. And so this is where the students will take the beans, they'll weigh them, they'll grind them, package them, seal up the packaging, and they'll help us sell them as well. Other kinds of work happen in this room as well. Over this way you'll see these red bins that include pre-vocational kits, which have different tasks that have to be done in a certain sequence, repetitively, a various number of steps. Sometimes it's 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps. But as our young people learn to do these tasks, that's helping them understand what it takes to do a job, so that they can be employed someday. Along this wall, we have pictures and graphs that we can use with these Velcroed clipboards to help people go shopping. Not all of our young adults can read and write, but if they know that they're going to need some lettuce and cucumbers and some wipes and some eggs, all of these items can be Velcroed to the board, and then they have their shopping list, and they're able to do that at any grocery store. And that completes our tour. I'm awfully glad always to be able to invite you and any of your friends and relatives into Madonna School. We think we have a great mission here, serving children and adults with developmental disabilities to help them be as independent as possible and to be engaged, contributing members of our community. And we look forward to seeing you.